There's a way where there's a whip. We don't want to go to war today, but the Lord of the Lashes says, nay, nay, nay. We're gonna march all day, all day, all day. Where there's a whip, there's a way. 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 Left, right, left, right, left. Where there's a whip, there's a way. Left, right. A crack on the back says we're gonna fight. We're gonna march all day and night and more. For we are the slaves of the dark horse. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Where there's a whip, there's a way. Where there's a whip, there's a way. Where there's a whip. We don't want to go to war today, but the Lord of the Lashes says, nay, nay, nay. We're gonna march all day, all day, all day. Where there's a whip, there's a way. Left, right, left, right.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fuck it, we're doing it live.
Fuck it, we'll do
Fuck
it
it.
live.
Doing it live. Anyway.
Tonight on Stumbling Down History Road, we're going to be talking about Lord of the Rings Part 2. I'm Jackson. That's Jeff.
I'm Danny.
I'm D.
Alright, so, you had said that you wanted to talk Lord of the Rings. You didn't see our Part 1. Why do you want to talk Lord of the Rings, and why didn't you see our Part 1? In that order.
You said Lord of the Rings.
I did not. You did this.
I did this, but the part one was the first Lord. You said
This
part
sounds
one.
like a mom issue.
Oh God.
Was this a mom issue?
Blame it on the moms. That's how you got to do it, right?
Fucking people.
Right? Jesus Christmas.
So,
Well, there we are. We engaged. She only watches pays attention to the first 5 minutes anyway.
We can talk
like,
about,
share, comment, subscribe if you enjoy our stuff. I don't know why you did.
Are we gonna talk about when Gandalf?
You know our subscriber goals and whatnot.
Let's give a quick shout out. 250 shirt giveaway to one lucky subscriber.
Those two.
2 lucky subscriber, 3 lucky subscriber. I don't know. Depends on how many we got when we're at there. We'll figure that shit out. Then
500.
500. Go ahead. List it all.
We got Through the Looking Ass, the Playboy themed Pornhub channel, or possibly Vimeo too. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. We're figuring that one out.
Yeah, that's some backstage production bullshit.
Well, I mean, it's literally just, can I make a Vimeo channel or not? I've never made one. Let's find out.
At 1,000, we got.
We're marrying people. Some random lucky guests.
You are getting forced married to Fody.
Am I?
Yeah. Congratulations. You're our lucky subscriber.
Enjoy
I'm
the
proud.
benefits of marriage.
1001, we got a Lego Humvee giveaway thing made
That's
by one of our very special guests.
Check out their new shop, I think.
Check out their new shop if you're on Long Island. Then at 2500, we got.
Did you already house that beer?
Well,
Alrighty then.
I was thirsty.
Okay.
At 2500, we have one of our buddies tattooing the Assassin's Creed logo on his nipple. I'll pay for that.
I'll pay to see that.
And I think when we get to...
And 1 million.
we are going to go do a heist at Joe Rogan's house for his katana.
Yeah. You're going to go ahead and do that all by your lonely.
Joe Rogan... or his compound studio? I don't know. Whatever.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fuck it.
We'll have GoPros for it. We'll figure it out.
So, Lord of the Rings. Why Lord of the Rings, man? Did you like Lord of the Rings when you were growing up? Did you not like Lord of the Rings?
I love the movies.
Okay, talk to us about the movies.
Did you read the books?
Did you see the
Nah.
Rankin Bass? Did you see the Ralph Bakshi?
I did not see the Ralph Bakshi.
How could you not see Mick Jagger?
What?
Moves.
Mick Jagger, he was almost Frodo. And David Carradine was almost Aragorn.
David Carradine, the
Yeah.
Kung Fu guy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, that's where you know him from. Alright, that works.
Yeah, the Kung Fu. No, Kill Bill.
Oh, yeah.
that's another.
Remember the
That
five
movie where
plank-
Rob Schneider killed him?
Oh, what movie was that?
Well, no, I blame
Was
Rob.
that the Rob Schneider movie?
Well, he doesn't kill... I don't know if he kills him in the movie, but I do know that it's the reason he died. I blame Rob Schneider for David Carradine's death.
Didn't
Kill
like,
Bill?
No, I want to say it was Big Mike or Big Stan or something like that. But it's the one where Rob Schneider goes to prison.
Oh,
Oh, I know that movie.
Yeah, he's in it at the beginning as like his teacher.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
you know what? I'll take that.
Yeah, Rob Schneider killed David Carradine. Just being around him made David Carradine want to jerk off in a closet.
And
What do
hang
you-
himself. Bastard.
What do you remember
you
about
not
Lord of the
know
Rings,
what autoerotic asphyxiation is?
That's what it is, right? It's
Oh,
like
Yeah, you
strangling yourself while...
well you rub one out so this way it gets better. Yeah.
while-
Allegedly. Allegedly. Don't try this at home, kids.
Yeah, no.
Wait until you're
do.
18 plus.
Or if you do, make sure that you have a thumb up your butt so it looks even worse when you get caught dead.
Of course.
Again, don't try this at home, kids. Wait until you're 18 plus, because then you're a legal adult.
Facts.
And we want no say in what you do in your closet.
This is America. Always remember that. America. Do what makes you happy.
Yeah, but
Just
I'm not
don't
gonna
hurt anybody.
So I
Sorry.
have to get you a coaster.
I know, I'm sorry. I gotta...
First guest to need a coaster.
Yeah, you're like,
It's my bad.
I can't wait for me to hear that and edit. Ugh.
Oh. You're gonna be like, click, click, click.
Got that click, click, boom.
Oh, I got the kids' book.
There we go.
Thank you, D.
Screw them children. Use it as a
Yeah,
coaster.
right. This looks interesting.
Are you about to, my man?
I-
We're Lord of the Ringsing.
I haven't read a book in like...
We can tell.
Oh,
you
my-
didn't need to tell us. We can tell you
I
don't
failed
read.
the whole thing.
Hey, this is the book themed month. You can
I
read
know,
a book.
right? Yeah, thank you, D. Thank you. See? Get on his level.
We got at least Lord of the Rings a little bit. What did you like about the movies?
Did you see the look? Did you see the cat attached to the spaceship? There's Earth right here.
We stumble. It's in the name.
This might go missing from your from your cousin's shop. I'm sorry. Anyways, Lord of the Rings.
Talk to me about why you like Lord of the Rings. You seem like a socialist type.
A socialist type. Well, I did vote for Bernie Sanders, so but whatever. No, you know what? That's America, you know. But anyways, yeah, I liked Gandalf. He was like Lord of the Rings Jesus, you know. Came back.
Except like he wasn't even all that powerful.
Yeah, he really wasn't, right?
He was pretty powerful, but he wasn't like all that
For an
powerful.
old man, he was pretty good.
I think he was technically on the level of an archangel,
Something
if
like
I'm
that.
remembering how the hierarchy works.
Oh, I mean, if we're converting it into Christianity type of a thing.
Well, all this is meant to kind of sort of be converted into Christianity. The subtext of the book was this was all supposed to be on Earth at some point or another.
Yep, in the middle of it.
Yep. Just like at some point or another there was the Hyborian Age. And believe it or not, I think those things can technically fit together too.
Hyborian Age.
Conan the Barbarian.
I don't know. I would think that it would either have to be post Sauron or pre Middle Earth, where they're in that like lull period. So when they're either post Sauron and they're in the Age of Peace, but before they go into the after effects, where things start turning awry again, or before all that shit, because you got Sauron who like fucked around and turned people into Balrogs and shit.
Are those
Well,
also-
the Balrogs were slightly lower ranking angels, I think.
Yes and no. Technically, they're so there's the two major forces. There's at the very beginning in this, and
We're getting out the fact checkers.
Gotta make sure it's right.
Did you ever see like it's like I think it's Stephen Colbert and the fuck is his name? The actor. And they start getting into like Lord of the Rings trivia competitions with each other.
What on his show?
Yeah. What the fuck is his
They
name?
just broke out Lord of the Rings trivia competition.
so
Well, no,
it's
'cause they're
the
both Lord of the
Valar and the
Rings
Malar,
nerds.
and the
they're
Maiar.
What?
That's what it is. The Valar and the Maiar. The Valar are angelic powers or gods. One supporting to Eru. You have
is God, right?
yes, yeah, to the one god Eru, Ilúvatar. Let's see, the Chief Valar. You have
Because I think pretty sure that Wheel of Time is also technically supposed to be on Earth.
You have Manwë, King of Valar, King of Arda.
But based off how that lore works, I don't think it's congruous with Lord of the Rings. But I think Chronicles of Narnia might actually be somewhat congruous with Lord of the Rings.
I would go with that.
You have
that like
Ulmo. You
Sorry,
need
you've
to
gotta learn
sneak
to
into a
speak.
mic, man.
I know. I'm
You
sorry.
got okay.
I
Try and
gotta
do.
move up.
You gotta try. No, it's not even about movie. You gotta try and be about here-ish.
Okay.
Whatever you call that thing.
A
maybe-
Welker.
Oh, like this.
turn
Measure. Perfect.
Yeah. Get
Yeah.
it down to your.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, we get it.
thank you.
You need to get on that level.
I'm getting on that level. I'm trying.
Aului? I can't pronounce that.
Also, if you're gonna like try and talk to one, try and like come in a little bit sideways whenever you talk to. If you're gonna look,
You look at one of you.
yeah, when you talk, it just
Kind of like what I'm doing right now, how I'm talking at the mic, but I'm kind of talking at you too.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mandos, Orame, the Judge of the Dead.
Judge of the Dead. So
Yeah, that's Mandos.
so
Mandos
he's
Calrissian. What's up?
So he would be Anubis.
Kind of. He's got the Hall of Mandos. Stern
That sounds
to
like a
Passionate.
fun place to have.
He's
a
the
party.
keeper of the soul of elves. He's got all sorts of stuff. You know, he's pretty cool guy. He
So
fucks
he's
around him.
Heimdall for elves.
What's up?
He's Heimdall for elves.
Kind of. Lorien, Tolkos, and there's queens that I'm not gonna get into because they're women.
Based.
Yep, that's us.
So based.
You gotta lock in and Mog and Sigma that shit.
Oh.
However you do the face lock in Sigma thing.
The mewing.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. I just found. So I told you about this off screen, but I just found out that some of the kids that work here just found out about jelking.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God, I haven't heard that one in about a year.
Jelking?
On
Yo,
a different podcast too.
Sorry.
I remember when we used to make fun of that back in like 2010, 2011.
Oh man, fucking joking.
Yeah.
I am the Gel King, Gel King.
Sounds like a shampoo.
So, do
you want to explain it to him?
I'll how do I explain this? I mean, we're not sponsored, so I don't really have to worry
Not
about
sponsored.
Not sponsored. Turn your labels around.
Not sponsored.
Not
Anyway.
sponsored.
Except by Foster's
We'll never
Australia.
be sponsored. No, we're not sponsored by Foster's, Australian cunt. But I'd love to be.
The
Anyway.
dinosaur is blocking him out just enough.
But
I mean, Jeff, you
So,
fucking heathen. He has a name.
I'm sorry, Jeff. I am so
So-
sorry.
joking is when you it's a type of edging.
Ugh.
If you know what that is,
When you get close to the edge.
and you
Is that-
stop and
Oh no.
you don't let yourself. So this way you. Anyway, but
Build up
instead
He's
of
so innocent.
Build up ammo.
but
lots of
instead you
ammo.
try and do it. You try not to get like fully hard, and you try and push everything down. It's more like a hard stroke where you try and make everything.
It's like
all-
it's like rolling pizza with the thing. With
yeah,
the,
you're trying to make it get bigger by kind of pizza rolling it with your hands there.
get all the tomato sauce all the way to the end.
Yeah,
That's
so
it.
you get a bigger, and that's
That's it. There you
that's
go.
jelking for you.
Jelkin.
The things you learn on the Lord of the Rings episode of our podcast.
We stumble. It's in the name.
It either sounds like a hair gel or it sounds like a game they play
But
in
it-
Sweden.
It was a big joke on a different podcast where they said Oompaville was the king of jelking or some shit like that. I think.
Oh my god. Oh boy. I'm dying to.
I don't
open
know
this.
were I was.
We were talking
Oh,
about
you
the
were
queens,
the
and then we said
queens.
based,
Queens of the Stone Age. You
and I
stopped
said
there.
then I started making Sigma
Queens of the
jokes.
Queens
is
of
it-
the Lord of the Rings age.
They're a good band though. Queens of the Stone.
I enjoy them. I enjoy them.
What's it? No one knows. That's a solid banger.
Oh,
and
songs
then
for
they
the
did
deaf.
nothing else.
Yeah, the only song Dave Grohl played on that one.
Was he really in that song?
He was. He's the drummer.
Oh really?
Yeah, he was jamming out.
I did not know that.
He was. I think he plays the drums on that entire album. I think the album
Huh.
Songs for the Deaf. That's the name of the album.
What else did Queens of the Stone Age do? Let's see.
Lullabies to Paralyze.
Let's see.
That's a good album.
Single, The Lost Art of Keeping a Secret.
So can we talk about Melkor?
Yeah, let's talk about this one. He was just about to break it out.
Yeah, he's the most powerful Valar. He's later renamed Morgoth. He's the primary antagonist,
He's essentially
of
the
Arda.
Satan.
Antique.
Yeah, he is a.
He's
if you wanna-
Giratina.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to put it into Christianity Pokemon
Was
terms,
that the right one?
No.
Which one is the Pokemon Satan?
I mean, it's not Giratina, but it's not Giratina.
It's the one that looks like a big kind of centipede with.
It's not Giratina, but it's Giratina.
What about Charizard?
Charizard's just the best Pokemon.
Yeah, right.
Actually,
What?
it's Arceus.
Oh no, Charmander.
Charmander's adorable.
Yeah, if I could make one, if I could have one of those as a pet, that and a Squirtle.
Why do you seem like a Vaporeon dude?
What?
Are you talking to me or him?
Him. He seems
no,
like a Vaporeon
no,
guy.
we're not doing that. We're not breaking the poor thing.
Are we gonna break the fourth wall?
No. You just seem like a Vaporeon type of guy.
You got me. You got me.
Okay, so apparently I guess it would kind of be Giratina. Because Arceus banished Giratina to the Distortion World.
Banished.
I hate
You know what?
you all.
You're gonna send him to the Shadow Realm.
I hate you all.
Did you see the new Solid Stage, AJ? The Shadow Realm is technically hell.
The Shadow Realm is mine.
Anyway.
I was talking about my heirs and Valars and bloody blahs.
Yeah.
I was trying to.
My bad.
So essentially, he copy pasted Christianity and then just made it so this way it would go along with his imaginary
Language that he made up for his kids. Yeah, yeah.
then
Jinx,
he
you owe me a
proceeded-
Pepsi.
And then he proceeded to make a whole,
Too bad there's
also
Coca-Cola.
stories around that.
So, in order, it was Hobbit, Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, Return of the King, Silmarillion.
He did a lot of other like kind of short stories and other like bits and bobbles and kind of small novellas. The Silmarillion is kind of more supposed to be like a
Journalistic.
I would almost say more like a history book. Kind of like it encompasses it's so even then that's not even the full what Silmarillion does because that even is also kind of its own separate like atlas of middle stories and middle atlas of Middle Earth thing too. Like he did a lot for this world. Like he went in and even still I think his kids were
It is probably one of the most flushed out worlds out there.
yeah, in terms of like world building.
It is, yeah, I mean,
Like the
So
Lord of the Rings
War-
itself, the actual is only literally just a small portion of like a massively overarching tale that extends technically even into our timeline.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, Warhammer 40K has numerous fucking writers. So, like, they're competing in terms of world building.
Yeah, but this
But,
was
like-
mostly done by like one guy and then maybe his kids too.
Yeah. Wheel of Time is fucking Expanse. Discworld is fucking Expanse. So Pratchett, Narnia's Louis C.K. That's definitely not the correct one.
1 second, I get double.
It's something Lewis. C.S. Lewis? No.
Why does that sound familiar?
It is C.S. Lewis, yeah.
Yeah. So
Right.
And then-
Narnia's incredibly flushed out. There's like 4 books, 5 books of that, and then like separate.
And then Wheel of Time is Robert Jordan because you didn't say that.
Yeah.
It was all, although then after he died, it became Brandon Sanderson.
Yeah.
Although Sanderson did kind of help him write some of it before he died, just because I think he knew he was going to pass away soon,
Mhm.
if memory serves.
Oh wow.
So it's like I think it's like the first 6 or 7 books are almost all him.
And people want to talk about One Piece and their fucking world building. Get on their level.
Oh yeah, even then, if you want to, I mean, even then there are other Japanese authors who make even bigger like world building. I mean, Hideyuki Kikuchi has 2 of them, technically 3. He has a whole third more young adult-based book series which I saw a list of his published works, like not fully complete Japanese list.
James Patterson?
No, Hideyuki Kikuchi.
Also James Patterson.
But anyway,
Hashtag James Patterson.
but
It's a popular enough author.
James Patterson he's a ghost. He's mostly a name he uses a lot of ghostwriters.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm
You're
kind of
buying it for a name.
which is kind of what I'm. But he'll also like kind of pump up and like feature some of his Ghost Riders and stuff and give them like. He doesn't just steal. He'll also like the ones he likes and kind of grooms, I guess, would be the. Some of them go on for their own individual, but I mean, I saw a list of like, it's so fucking long.
Kikuchi or Patterson?
Kikuchi, that I'm just sitting there going, he's either using Ghost Riders or he just does nothing but write constantly nonstop.
I mean, look at Stephen King. He's got like 80 books.
That guy's a
Dude, the list
cocaine.
was well,
The cocaine.
Yeah, that was cocaine. But like he's either getting some help for this, like I don't know what, like Jesus fucking Christ. So I'm having this weird question of fucking conscience about this, like whether or not I'm having to fucking deal with a fraud as a fucking, my favorite author.
So how does this tie in with Lord of the Rings?
I don't know.
Pet Cemetery.
Shut. You're gonna lose your mic privilege.
I know. I'm losing it. I'm already on strike 2.5. This isn't good. Sorry, Jeff.
Anyway.
Fucking silence your bitch ass. Freedom of speech no more.
This is America.
It's all right. I'm a socialist. I understand. Or communist, whatever. It don't matter.
Well, at least he's admitting it.
Silence me.
It's probably why he's wearing blue. And red.
Krypton. I think they were. What was the state of government up there?
Stop.
I want to say that it was
No,
technically
no,
controlled
we're
by
not
the
doing this.
Brainiac.
Nope, we're not doing this.
He's gonna
right
shut
now.
us down. Let's stop talking, D.
We got a Lord of the Ring.
We're Lord of the Rings. We got to get off
We
Krypton.
stumble. It's in the name.
Yeah, but like
We can't
I think
talk
we
about
said maybe
Kal-El.
5 things. Have you seen the Rankin Bass down there?
Yes.
I know
but
you haven't seen anything involving Rank and or Bass.
I
None
think
of
I've
them.
seen all
None.
the movies. Yeah, I think I've seen all the animated movies. I've seen The Hobbit. Most of it. I don't know if I've seen. I think I might have.
Yeah, the Rankin Bass is The Hobbit,
I think I
Oh, I
and
saw The
then
Hobbit. I know I saw the Lord of the Rings, the old one.
that's
the-
Ralph Bakshi.
And then I'm pretty sure, I also saw the Return of the King one.
Yeah, so
Because I know the Ralph Bakshi one incorporated both the first 2 books, I think, technically. And then it...
yes, it did.
And then it was like... So they're like, oh, we'll just do the Return of the King since the other one was already there.
I've seen clips of that.
Well, no.
cartoon.
So what ended up happening was Rankin Bass wanted to do the Lord of the Rings story. However, they,
Comma.
yeah, it wasn't like, hey, look, we saw Ralph Bakshi's, and we want to finish it. Let's get approval to just like take over where he left off. No, they just thought that Fellowship of the Ring and Two Towers wasn't going to translate well into film, so they're like, we only want to do the Return of the King. It starts off with like 2 different title screens, and then it cuts to Gandalf narrating the exploitive of how they're now in a world of peace. Cut to Bilbo's 129th birthday in
That's
with
old. Jesus.
with Frodo telling Bilbo the story of how he lost his finger and now became Frodo of the Nine Fingers, and then they have
A bard come in, yeah.
a fucking court jester sing song that, oh look, now we're doing this.
Flashback.
Flashback.
Musicals.
I mean, it's not a musical, but it may as well fucking be one. And then they weirdly spent a lot of time on Sam's time away from Frodo, and like, hey, let's cut to the history of this and give Sam 14 fucking musical songs about, I'm exaggerating, but about how, oh no, I can't be away from this guy, and now I'm a great knight, and now when we're done with this, I'm gonna go marry Rosie Cottonwood and have my kids, and then you don't see these fucking kids, and so it's just like a throwaway in a fucking song. Like, it's...
To be fair, in the actual book, he did end up getting married to what's her name?
Rosie
and
Cotton, yeah.
and
Rosie Cottonwood?
having a bunch of kids.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It is literally just a throwaway in the song, though.
I think Merry and Pippin also get married and have kids too.
Yep, they get married to each other and they have kids.
Frodo becomes sheriff of
The
Shire.
Shire.
for a while. I don't remember if he
Really
married and have
Shire.
kids.
Lotho, corrupt sheriff.
Was he a corrupt?
This is
he was a
by the way,
corrupt
this is
sheriff?
all after there's a whole chunk missing that both these movies, where
And Lord of the Rings itself.
yeah, where Saruman had actually
Like the Peter Jackson one.
Saruman had invaded the Shire, the White Wizard. Saruman, like his whole thing in the movies is completely different because in the books, he actually invaded the Shire off screen with an army of Uruk-hai, took it over and like started like strip mining it and shit, and so fucking the Fellowship of the Ring and stuff and like a Gondorian army just swooped the fuck in, clean house, and then as Saruman's escaping, Wormtongue stabs him in the back.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Holy.
Let's see if I can find the song that I want.
Is it Where There's a Whip, There's a Way?
For a minute, I thought you were going to play A Hard Day's Night by the Beatles. Just, I don't know why, that little chime in the beginning.
Okay.
Nope, it's this. It is the
browser are you using?
It is the Where There's a Whip.
There's a way.
So we have to talk a little bit over this, otherwise we'll get copyrighted. So
Whip.
This sounds like a real...
there's a way.
Sounds like an
Where
intense
there's a whip.
Western.
So this is in Return of the King and the Rankin Bass, and it's probably the hardest song in there.
Right?
And it's just like Sam and Frodo watching
These orcs getting ready for battle and shit. And it's weird because I think in the movie it's like taking place during the day, but in the
Yep.
no wait,
Adrian's verses through the time.
Mordor
Where there's a
actually
whip.
really is covered by
There's a
like
whip.
smog and everything, so sunlight wouldn't affect the orcs there.
Don't the orcs come out of the mud? How does that work?
So
Where there's a whip.
it's
Way.
you're thinking of the Uruk-hai birth sequence from the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
So the Uruk-hai are supposed to be partial, like they're supposed
Elves?
to be orcs with.
Oh, they're part elves, right? There's
well,
something
they're
there's elf in
either
there?
Kind
part.
of.
They're supposed to actually be more part man.
Real,
Yeah. So the Uruk-hai
Where there's a
are orcs, but just mixed with man, so they're able to
There's a
operate
whip.
in more. And even then, that's kind of more partially a bit of a kind of a movie thing because I think in the books
It's different. It's
the
like
books
little
it's a
different.
way there's a lot. There's a
But-
lot of stuff in the books
Goes into more detail.
that's a bit it's a little bit more detail. Like there's the whole Tom Bombadil thing that's completely skipped over.
Yeah, Tom Bombadil, legendary god bard.
So yeah, that's one of the theories about Tom Bombadil. But
He just is.
Uru, yeah.
Eru?
Eru, yeah. There's a couple of videos on YouTube.
He just fucks around and like tells stories, and
But
it's
he
like,
only
"Hey, yo,
does
my
it-
guy."
but
He's a
it's
storyteller.
Well, he only does it in song too.
Yeah,
In song?
Everything he says
Sing
is,
song.
Yeah,
I like that.
If you as you read it in the book, whenever he speaks, it's instead done into a song voice in italics. Like it's done into like a verse format
And then oh wow.
and italicized as it would be like you're sing-songing it.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's implied that everything he's saying is. And he also
A
has
song.
the wife, Gold River or River Child or something like that.
Gold Meadow?
Golden.
No, you're right with Goldenberry.
Golden.
Goldberry?
It might be.
Goldberry.
But yeah, but a lot of people think that he may or may not be Eru because he says he's older than like the mountains and
Everything.
the river and everything and all that. Like he's been before Earth existed or whatever.
shit.
Some people think he may or may not be like.
This card tells no lies. This card tells only truths.
So he's a vampire?
What? No.
No.
But
It's been around a long time.
other people think he's on like the same level as Gandalf, but
Oh, like that.
the thing is though, Gandalf could be corrupted by the ring, so he might not be because then it would be implied. But he's not corrupted by the ring.
Tom Bombadom, Badom, Badom.
Yeah, Tom Bombadil has. There's nothing. The ring has no. He just puts it on his finger. It's like, haha, look at this little trinket. Takes it off like it's nothing.
Yep.
And that if
Doesn't affect him. He doesn't disappear, become invisible, whatever.
It literally just is like, oh, neat.
I think at one point he does like a little bit of like a parlor trick of making it appear and disappear in thin
so
air
he's
and
like
stuff.
he's like Harry Houdini. He's like a magician.
Well, he's something. but
He's like oh, okay. No, I think I get
I
it.
think even Gandalf.
Tell me where we
acknowledges that
lost
he-
you, because we clearly lost you somewhere.
I think
I'm
Gandalf
alright.
even acknowledges that
I'm
he's
listening.
like can get bodied by him or something like that, or implies that like. Then at one point they're like, oh, why don't we just give the ring to Tom Bombadil since it has no sway over him and whatnot?
Mm.
And they're like, Yeah, but here's the thing. He's so vapid and airy that he would end up losing the ring somewhere that, like, Saruman could accidentally find it again. Yeah, like, he'd be like, oh, I dropped it in the middle of this swamp as I'm dicking around, and then...
I was reading
He's
a book
just
under a
rummaging.
tree.
Yeah, he's just rummaging through his pockets. He's like, what is this here for?
Yeah. So
Maybe he was like, I was going to use it as a cock ring in Jelk, and then I dropped it in the mud. And...
We shouldn't have taught you that word.
Yep. We made a mistake. Should not have done that. Shouldn't
have
have
done
said
that.
Shouldn't have said that.
Shouldn't
going-
have said that.
I'm going to Disneyland. All right.
But, please, go do what you just said in Disney World.
Drop the ring in the mud.
The other thing. Whatever.
If
Anyway.
that's what you're calling it these days,
Yeah.
Damn kids.
you are a kid.
That is true. So
I'm pretty sure he's a kid.
So Tom Bombadil.
Bomba Tomba.
Anyway, yeah, no, he's and he's not even the most chillest character. Then there's everybody loves the farmer who tells the ring wraiths to fuck off.
Oh,
His name is slipping me.
The grifter? The grafter? I'm pretty sure.
It's in the books. You kind of see him in the movie, but in the books, one of the ring wraiths go to one of the farms and they ask the farmer like, "Oh, have you seen Frodo? We're looking for him and shit." And like they kind of know what they are and stuff, but he's just like, I fucking seen him. Fuck off. And it's also interesting because he's also one of the people who's implied not to like the Baggins or whatever, because when you read the book, it's the first few chapters, the first several pages are just really.
So hobbits are typically known to be like antisocial, very to themselves, very like recluse, very not wanting to get involved in adventures and things like that. And so Bilbo, when he was like younger and went out with Gandalf, it kind of gave a bad names to the Baggins.
Yeah, so a lot of the people in the Shire are not very fun.
Oh, these are the weird ones.
And even then, there's a whole separate section of Baggins from a different town over that like look down on him and stuff, and they call them like the Hackshire Baggins or whatever.
Yeah.
oh,
And
so
they're like-
that's what happened because they're very like to themselves and
Typically,
one of them-
hobbits, yes, are more recluse. They just farm, they potate,
they stay
eat.
with themselves.
Yeah,
like,
When
yeah.
they do social gatherings, that's why at the
It's
beginning
big events.
They
like
they stick around with their own kind and they just stay together.
Yeah.
And
that's
farm
very
and-
much part of the reason why the ring has a lot less power over the hobbits than it would over, say, the elves or the dwarves or the man.
Which I have a question. Why is it that when Frodo and Sam were on their way to Mount Doom, they were getting closer, right? And Frodo takes the ring for a little bit Sam takes the ring for a little bit from Frodo because he's injured, right?
Yes.
Why is it that it appears to have so much sway over Frodo so quickly? Like, why couldn't they just like marry Pippin, Sam, and Frodo, just kind of like rotate turns with it and just be like, fuck it, none of us get corrupted.
So, a little bit had to do
Like
with...
it took Bilbo what 50 fucking years. Long
Well, the
fucking
thing
time.
was Bilbo really only used it every now and again, and mostly kind of just kept it hidden away as a trinket in his house. He didn't. Well, Frodo was very much in direct contact with it, and used it a little bit more frequently.
that is
And that's
true.
what I'm getting at. Like, why couldn't they have just swapped roles? And it was always like, oh, well, Frodo, he's our hobbit. And then, as they're meeting with Rivendell? Is that where they meet up for the actual fellowship and, take my axe and my bow comes
Yeah,
from?
it's Rivendell, which
So-
is the...
Why is it that, like, Sam, Merry, and Pippin are kind of just, like, shunned away and not, like, even given any sort of credit?
Well, I mean, Merry and Pippin were off kind of doing their own adventure for a while. Like, by the time they realized that, like, they would have, that taking turns with the rings for the hobbits would have been, like, a smarter idea, they were kind of already off doing their own thing. Especially because as they got closer to Mount Doom and you were closer to
More
Sauron,
influence, yeah.
yeah, it started to, becomes more, like,
More of a burden.
yeah, like look at his Isildur. Like he didn't even put it on. He barely had it in his hand for like 2 minutes, and he's like,
corrupt.
"All right, I want to keep this now. Fuck you." So, it's while the hobbits do have like a natural resistance to it, it's not as,
as prominent as one might think. Which again,
Yes.
I'm understanding,
But
but like,
the
why
thing is
isn't
all-
they just didn't be like,
it's-
hey man, I'll take it for this round. I'll take it this day.
Because
This week
it's
I got it.
A lot of it was Frodo putting the wanting to just keep the burden to himself and having a complex, kind of.
So what you're saying is that Frodo's the enemy.
No, Frodo.
He was willing to let himself get corrupt because he wanted a complex.
I mean, I wasn't saying that like he, wanted to get all the, but at the same, but at the same time, he was also starting to slowly get that as he. By the time he got to Rivendell and decided that, he also have to remember he was stabbed by the ring wraith, so he had like that corruption in him from the ring wraith's blade.
Oh yeah, that is. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Which while they did treat, it still was kind of there in the background with him. It never really fully, 100% was fixed or healed. Like they're like, yeah, you're still gonna kind of feel it, and it's still like if you know.
But wasn't there? I don't know.
Where
if
there's a whip, there's a way. Yeah.
So, it's at that point it was also him just being like, well, this is my burden, this is my burden, this is my, he's thinking this is mine.
woe is me.
It was very much becoming a this is mine issue.
And he was just gonna just go all the way. Because I remember, like in the
Yeah,
movie, I don't know if it was in the
sorry.
book. No, it my bad. But I don't know if it was in the book. Like I remember at the end of the.
I mean, Peter
Fellowship.
Jackson had a pretty faithful adaptation, given what he could do
Yes.
with only 11 hours.
Yeah, and there's so much detail. I could
I want to say it was
imagine
almost
that.
12 and a half or 13 in the extended edition or some shit.
How long? Like I remember they played it in the movies, like all three movies: The Fellowship, Two Towers, and.
You were trying to say something. I'll find that out. But you were trying to say something about the movies, and then we distracted you. Talk.
Oh no! I just was asking. Never read the books, as you can say, but in the movie, when what's his name, Frodo he had the ring and he's talking to Aragorn, and Aragorn he holds the ring out. He's like, you could just take it if you want to go. Like gave him that look, and Aragorn like closes his hands on the ring and he goes, I would have went with you all the way.
Are you thinking of Boromir?
No, at the end of the movie of the Fellowship, when Aragorn, he holds the ring out to Aragorn before all those orcs come through the forest, and he says, "Just go." He sees like the sword light up blue when the Uruk-hai are coming around, and he just says, "Go, just run," and then he just fights them
Yeah, that's
off.
Boromir.
Is that Boromir?
Yeah, Aragorn doesn't die.
No, Aragorn. He was talking to Aragorn.
No, it wasn't.
No,
The last person before that he was talking to Boromir.
no, I'm talking about what's his name?
Fellowship.
The Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah,
when
that's Boromir.
He dies, Boromir, don't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Boromir dies.
No, Boromir tries to take the ring from him, right?
Yeah, and
No,
he
but-
dies.
Boromir does try to at first, but then he decides against it very quickly. Then Frodo's like, if you want to take it, take it. I'm not really going to stop you. And then Boromir's like, nah, never mind. I'm just going to try and see it through. Because Boromir wanted to take the ring at first because he thought he could use it to help restore Gondor.
Yeah, no, I know that. But I remember at the end of that Boromir gets hit. I remember he gets shot with the arrows.
Yeah.
And then I remember it was like that, like, stone, like, fallen castle, and Aragorn's with Frodo. He's with Frodo, and he's holding the ring out. He was telling him that Boromir was trying to take the ring from him. And he holds the ring out, and he gets on his knees, Aragorn, thinking, like,
Does
he could
he?
just... Yeah, in the movie. I'm talking about the movie, not the book.
Okay.
In the book. And I remember...
What is the point of this?
I don't know. I just remember that scene in the movie. Wanted to connect something else, but I lost track of time. Lost track of my head. Whatever.
Okay.
I was just asking if that was in the book. The Fellowship of the Ring. Did they make a book, Fellowship? They did, right? Or no? Is that just the
Yes.
movie? All right, just making sure.
What? What? So, to answer your question earlier about the length of time, how long things run, so the theatrical is 558 minutes or just shy of 11 hours. No, that doesn't sound right. That's probably about 8 hours.
Is that all three movies?
Yeah.
All in one, if you would just boom
Yeah.
watch it from beginning
Yeah.
to end?
It's 9.3 hours if you wanted to do it that way, and for The extended cut, it's 663, so that's 11 hours. Sorry, 683,
Oh my god.
which is 11 hours and change.
Oh, the whole thing with that thing with Frodo and Aragon, with the thing when he was talking about corrupt.
Wait, you're talking about this scene here?
Yeah, the corrupt. No,
Yeah,
no,
Aragorn's behind Frodo.
no. Before the big fight. Yeah, at the end, all the way at the end, before when he dies. But no, the whole thing was that with him trying to give it to Aragon, the ring, like the corruption.
You wanted to give it to him?
Yeah, that's Boromir again, right here.
No, you gotta keep going. You gotta go all the way, like right before the end, like before the big fight when all the Uruk-hai come through. But
Yeah,
the corruption,
Aragorn's not here, dude.
the corruption of the ring. Hold on. Oh, you're talking about the corruption of the ring, like Frodo wanting to keep it to himself, but at that point he was just gonna give it to Aragon. Oh, let me find it.
I mean, he was willing to part with it if somebody was
Was
like
gonna
wanting
go all
to
the
take
way,
the burden,
yeah.
especially at the beginning, like at the very beginning. But as I said, as he's holding it and stuff, it very much in his head becomes, "This is my issue. This
Yeah.
is my problem. This is
And
my
I-
ring.
and I-
This
yeah.
is my burden. This is mine. That's the corruption."
That's the corruption, yeah.
So, well, yeah, he could have given it to the other hobbits and stuff to hold on to avoid the corruption. By the point in time that it would have became an issue, he would have already just been thinking to himself, "This is mine. This is mine. This is mine. This
Yeah.
is mine. My issue. My problem. This is mine to deal with." So, I mean, yeah, that doesn't make him the enemy. It just makes him mentally feeble, as all living creatures technically are.
Yeah, that is true, yes.
But,
That is true.
yeah.
So I guess, I mean, that's what I guess you can infer from it. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe there's a better reason that Tolkien could have told you, but like, if you're going off how the context of the situation works, that's probably what's happening. And then
Sorry.
Samwise, one, really didn't have it long enough for him to get corrupted, and two, he himself his desires are way. So a lot of what the ring does is compel you based off your desires,
Off your desires.
which is part of the reason why also Frodo was a bit more corruptible, because he didn't really have the full desire to sit and stay in his house like his
Like his family, the rest
He-
of the hobbits. He
if
wanted
you
to
read the
follow
beginning of the
through.
book, he very
wanted to
much
follow
kind
through
of-
like Bilbo.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
was
yeah.
seeking adventure.
Yeah, he kind of had a bit more. He was also considered a bit of a weird hobbit himself in that way. Like, he admits it himself. He's like, I kind of always looked up to my Uncle Bilbo because he went on an adventure and stuff. And, now.
And that's why I was always so excited to see Gandalf and like, oh my God, Gandalf's here. Can I go? Can I go, Gandalf?
Yeah.
Because you hear the stories that he told, right? And
Yes.
hearing those
Yeah,
adventures.
yeah. Whereas,
Yeah.
Frodo.
whereas what Samwise wanted was, I just want to help I just want to help my buddy, and I think he's also technically his boss.
My gay lover.
Well,
You can boil him, mash him, shove him up your ass.
Stick him in a stew.
but he's like, I just want to go home, get married, have kids, and do my farming life. I don't need to do an adventure.
How long did that take?
The actual Fellowship of the Ring adventure itself.
Yeah.
I want to say it's almost the course of 4 years in the book.
One way?
I think from like start to finish at the very end, where they
Respectable.
where they
Transversing
retake the Shire. Is what I was trying to. Sorry.
traversing hundreds of thousands potentially of miles in like 4 years. Respectable.
I mean, plus you gotta admit, like, there's probably some downtime here or there, or like when they're in Rivendell, I think they spend a few months.
And the Eagles bring them back, and so they can have
Yeah.
a cheat code that way.
The Eagles.
Yes, the
Which-
Eagles.
It's
The big
implied
ones.
that they may or may not have been trying to use the Eagles at the beginning by going over the mountain, but
I've always heard that it had something to do with the fact that like they didn't want to get involved with, like, the Eagles themselves didn't want to get involved.
also, yes, the Eagles themselves really did not want to be involved in any of it, period. In fact, the whole thing about them saving Gandalf was very much like they were doing a solid for Radagast the Brown. Because in the book, he's not really seen, but it's said, like, Gandalf was like, yeah, Radagast the Brown was basically just did me a solid there by getting me off the tower and shit.
Oh yeah, when he jumped off, right, and they came to his rescue.
Yeah, and the eagle. Yeah.
Well, that and also at the end when Gollum, Schmeagol, whatever you want to call him at that point,
Gollum.
and when he has the ring and is like dancing around, like is it Schmeagol? Is it Gollum? Same person.
Whether
different
they're the same
personality.
entity or not is to
Bit
be
of both.
debated.
Maybe.
Yeah.
The ring made that like.
Yes, the
The
ring
split
very much did the
personality.
split personality thing.
got
And
onto that.
Gollum himself, while not a hobbit, was what was pre the Hobbit that became
Yes.
the hobbits.
He was a proto-hobbit.
I think
like,
they're
think
called
of-
the River Folk or something like that.
Think of them as the equivalent of Neanderthals with us.
Yeah. So he was like, because Gollum himself is, I want to say, 400 or 500 years old by that point.
Yeah.
And even then, the fact that what's his name, Bilbo lived so long was kind of a bit of an outlier for hobbits because he.
That's why there was such a big party about it at the beginning of the book, because they're
Well-
like, "Oh my God, he's so old."
Well, because bearing the ring does give a somewhat of an extended life. It will prolong your life as you bear it, so long as you don't get murdered.
Murder berries.
And I mean,
Huh.
you still could also possibly die too, but yeah, so long as you just kind of be chilling and being a ring bearer, you're kind of just not functionally, but semi-functionally immortal, I guess would be.
You're like a lobster.
I guess.
You will only die by not molting.
Okay, yeah. Just
Interesting.
gotta shed your skin when you're a ring bearer.
Sea
Weird
bugs.
side note they don't tell you about.
Yeah.
Frodo.
It's not actually in the instructions. It should be though.
Yeah, you know, you just wake up one night and all your skin and stuff is just kind of
Melt.
on.
Well, it should be. Otherwise, you're gonna die from old age and whatnot. But
Yeah.
if you don't molt, then you die.
Or unless you get like a knife through your head, like a lobster.
Yeah.
Like in that one episode of The Boys. That was oh man, have you seen the Boys?
The show? No, I haven't. That's an Amazon show, right? The
Yeah.
Boys.
No, there's this scene where the Deep, the Aquaman Pache, he's like having this involved conversation with like a lobster or some shit because he could talk to
Oh, we
fish.
could talk to.
Although a lot of people like assume that it may or may not be all in his head and he's just projecting too,
Oh.
which is another whole can of worms. But
Oh shit.
so he's like having this in-depth conversation with like a lobster or whatever. It's in,
Don't worry,
like,
I'll for you.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I want this guy.
Just walks into Red Lobster. Don't worry.
Well,
let's
No,
just
no,
take
no.
off.
He
It's a
walks
fish-
into a.
It's a fish market. Yeah.
Oh
He's
shit.
in a fish market. Yeah, he's at the lobster tank. So like, all right, yeah, don't worry, I got you, bro. You know, whatever. So he goes, I want this one right here. Can you please? And before he could say like, I want it live, the guy just takes it and stabs it in the fucking head.
Oh my god.
And you just see his face just go. He immediately.
Jeremy?
And it's so, dude, it's so funny because they fucking beat the shit out of this guy the entire first season after he does one of the worst fucking things ever. So it's hilarious because you watch him just take. Like at one point he's in a fucking
The
children's.
deep is deep in L's.
But at one point he's standing at a fucking children's like aqua park having an existential crisis and shit or whatever.
Oh my god.
I like
I
when he
gotta
was
see it.
driving, and he
Oh,
stops
the
hard.
dolphin. Because it goes by him and it just does the slow. So he's trying to free a dolphin from SeaWorld, right?
Oh no.
And the whole time he's also talking with the dolphin too, implying that he's gonna like give the dolphin a hand job or some shit whenever they get to the ocean.
Oh my god.
So he gets like cut off by the cops, right? So he stops hard. He does a hard ass stop, and the dolphin just rockets out the front of the fucking truck.
No. Oh.
And as it passes them, they do a slow cut of them like looking at each other with like the music.
as they're passing by each other.
And it just shoots them out into the fucking street, where it immediately gets taken by a semi truck and just splattered all over the fucking
Oh.
ground.
This show. Oh my god.
Oh
This
man,
show.
yo,
It's on another level.
You
Jesus
gotta
Christ.
if you like watching fucked up shit happen. This
You sold it to me just on that because I heard it was a good show. My brother watched it, but he never told me that.
Well, now you know.
Now I know. Like I
Oh,
Knowing
man.
is half the battle.
and then Fat and Oswald has a really fun, weird cameo in there too.
Oh,
Not gonna spoil that one.
now I gotta see. How many seasons are there now?
So far
17.
there are 4. It's four seasons.
14.
And the fifth one's going to be the last.
15.
29.
42.
Looking fine.
Blue hike.
Anyway,
Yeah, so we were talking about Ralph Bakshi's Lord of the Rings.
whatever.
We weren't, but we are now. Do you like Ralph
Christ,
Bakshi?
you're housing those things.
Me, Ralph Bakshi?
Bocce.
Do you like Ralph
Bakshi?
Bakshi?
Sure.
He's alright. He's good stuff.
What's your favorite Ralph Bakshi?
Ralph
Is it
Ba-
Fritz?
It's Ralph Bakshi.
Is it Fritz the cat? You look like a Fritz the cat guy.
I like the Wizards.
You look like a. I don't.
It
Don't you fucking pull out that goddamn book. I'll fucking slap the shit out of you.
I'm sorry, Jeffrey.
You probably know the Wizards because of that one clip that goes around viral from the very end.
I was gonna say he's a Cool Worlds guy.
Cool World's not bad. Oh, that is him. Yeah, with then Brad Pitt or whatever.
Brad
yeah,
Pitt.
yeah. Young Brad Pitt.
Is that it?
Young
is it
Brad
really young
Pitt.
Brad Pitt? Yeah. And I want to say it's also Edward Norton too. I think.
Edward
There's a
Norton?
bunch of people in that.
Is it Edward Norton or am I thinking of some?
Look, all I know is that he tries to fuck a cartoon.
No, they.
Is
him-
it Lola Bunny?
No, it's
Damn it.
whatever the fuck her name is. And they actually have sex, which is why he becomes a cartoon or whatever.
Oh, he becomes a cartoon?
It's weird. It's a weird movie, but
What's the movie
It's a
called
pretty
again?
cool world.
Cool
though.
World.
Was it cool?
But Cool World.
Cool.
Now he's gonna go home and. Jesus.
I just want
Like-
to see Brad Pitt trying to bang a cartoon.
Well, you probably have seen the clip of the actual character. It's like the blonde girl dancing in this short, tight dress, doing kind of like almost. If you see,
Very risque.
if you seen the clip,
Risque?
you'd be like, oh. But no, I'm talking about Wizards because the clip at the end, the final fight at the end that goes viral, where it's like the one evil wizard doing a monologue, and then the other wizard's like, you know what? I cast gun and just pulls out a fucking piece and blows him away.
Oh, boy.
That's good. I like Fire and Ice because I love Frazetta.
Oh right, Frazetta, yeah.
Wizard, I think, is one of the earliest Mark Hamill voiceovers.
Oh right, yeah. I think
Because that was 77.
well, Mark Hamill.
And that was like Star Wars.
just after Star Wars, yeah.
Well, depending on when it got done.